You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
I'd like to start with the news of the day, given back in March you said that if the investigation confirmed the allegations against Governor Cuomo, then he should resign. So will you now call on him to resign, given the investigator said the 11 women were credible?
I stand by that statement.
Are you now calling on him to resign?
Yes.
And if he doesn't resign, do you believe he should be impeached and removed from office?
Let's take one thing at a time here. I think he should resign. I understand that the state legislature may decide to impeach. I don't know that for a fact. I've not read all that data.
And he's using a photo of you embracing him in his self-defense to say that these are commonplace kind of embraces that he made and the allegations against him. Do you condone that?
Look, I'm not going to fly-spec this. I'm sure there are some embraces that were totally innocent. But apparently the Attorney General decided there were things that weren't.
This is August 4th, 2021, and that is President Biden being questioned about Andrew Cuomo and the allegations, numerous allegations from the New York Attorney General yesterday, claiming that the New York State Governor, Cuomo, was a serial molester, harasser, possible predator. Cuomo, of course, denies it all. And the way he's fighting back now, you heard the reporter say, Cuomo released a picture of him hugging you, and it was those kinds of embraces he's trying to show are just typical and normal for him. And, of course, President Biden said, I don't want to fly-spec that. I'm not really sure what fly-spec is. That might be archaic language for older people. I don't know. I mean, never mind. I'm going down a rabbit hole here. But, yeah, Cuomo was doing that. He started releasing pictures of numerous cases where he was hugging women, usually politicians, and men, often politicians. And there was one kind of awkward hug he had with Sharpton, like they're kind of facing off. Who's touching who first? I don't know. Pressure's mounting. President Biden on the record now saying, yes, I think he should resign. Nancy Pelosi has said the same thing. Other Democrats in New York State have said, yes, time to go. And, of course, Republicans saying, you need to go. And the other point being, if you're not going to resign, then we will consider impeachment or that he should be impeached. We'll see how that plays out. Now, keep in mind, everything yesterday that the Attorney General laid out on these allegations against Cuomo are, for the most part, one-on-one encounters, so it's her word and his word. We've been down that road numerous times with both Republicans and Democrats, but apparently this is such a mounting piece of evidence. But you have to keep in mind New York State politics. The Attorney General who released that report and oversaw it wants to be governor, so she wants to run for that. Bill de Blasio, New York City mayor, says Cuomo should resign. That's because de Blasio wants to be governor. So that's always going to be in play. Speaking of de Blasio, there's another big story. He said, as the New York City mayor, you're going to have vaccination proof to enjoy Broadway plays, indoor dining, and a lot of other venues. In other words, you're going to have a vaccination passport to get in. What do you think about that? John LaBoutiere, former New York congressman we've had on the show numerous times, author of the book Harvard Hates America. I have him coming up. We're talking about the New York Governor Cuomo sex allegation, should he resign, plus what he thinks about New York City de Blasio issuing a vax passport just to get into Broadway plays and other public venues. Is this even legal? And the other question being raised actually by the mayor in Boston, is this not racist? The majority of those unvaccinated in the New York City area are black. Also, Congresswoman Omar continues to criticize America after coming here from Somalia. A Somali Dutch scholar, human rights activist, calls her out. Plus, a U.S. Olympian proudly wrapping herself in the U.S. flag. You're going to love that story. And I have praise for BLM, Black Lives Matter, no joke. When anyone does something deserving praise, I'm going to give it to them. And in this case, even to BLM, they, or at least a chapter, did something that I want to praise. You don't want to miss that segment. We have a lot to cover over the next 2 hours. Let your friends and family know we're on the air right now. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.